Good evening.
Good evening.
So I've thrown many superlatives at Doctor Who stories over the past, however long we've been doing this, 10 years. That's frightening.
I think it's actually longer than
Yeah, it's 10 years. We had big delays though. I don't know why we stopped doing this. It was such good fun. I've been racking my brains trying to think of the appropriate one for this story. And weirdly, the superlative I've come up with is, this is the most perfect Doctor Who story we have seen. But even that's paradoxical, because I then have to follow it with, and it gets even more perfecter the more time that passes.
more perfect.
Yes, I chose my words wisely. There are some television programmes that would use the premise and the concept spread across 2 episodes here to fuel series worth of TV. When you break down just how much is going on here, how many different strands, how much Stephen Moffat is juggling from moment to moment, it is honestly just mind-boggling to think that anybody has the depth of imagination and heart. I mean, Moffat comes across as a sort of gruff Scottish. He's twinkly, isn't he? But you know, he does have this.
Doesn't come across as gruff.
A little bit. He plays up to his Scottishness and whatever. But this is just so phenomenal from start to finish. It is appropriately scary. Humphrey was.
It's definitely scary.
Yeah, Humphrey was genuinely a little bit bothered about watching this again. There are some very amusing moments, although that is dialed down here, to be fair. I mean, Moffat is funny, but that's not, one of the major strands of this. There are some bits that are just jaw-dropping. And the one that gets me, and I knew it was coming, and it just got me, is the moment where Dr. Moon looks at the girl and says, "Right, can we just have a little chat? There are 2 worlds, and the world of your nightmares is real." And it's like, it's just, you can't say that to a kid. Unbelievable. Other moments that got me, and me and Humphrey clocked it, and then Lib clocked it, and then Wynne clocked it. And we knew. But the bit...
clocked it.
No, but I know. But the bit when Donna is in the playground and you realise that for the last few moments all the kids have looked the same and you only just clock it, and it's just like, oh my word.
The bit with the kids in bed.
Oh, the bit with the kids in bed. That is going to be, although that is going to grow again. Although we have to talk about the future, don't we? So I'll give myself a pass on this one. Moffat plays in dangerous territory with the imagery in Doctor Who. There will be moments in the future
I know exactly what you're talking about.
where we will say he's gone too far. There are 2 particular moments I'm thinking of already. But he pushes the boundaries, which is fine, but there are moments where it's not to my taste. He gets away with it here. I could talk all day. Let's just say, quick. Tennant and Tate giving stellar performances. Steve Pemberton manages to take a character from being stupendously unlikable to being genuinely warm-hearted and good-natured, and makes that an incredibly believable thing. The kid playing Cal, oh my goodness! I mean, what a gig to get that is. And that is whether it's the director coaxing her through, but she's got talent, and clearly. There's just what's his name? Clive Salmon, playing Dr. Moon, absolutely pitch perfect. Donna's husband.
I really wish I brought him back.
I know. Oh my goodness me, what a lovely character that is.
And the fact as well that she thinks she's invented the ideal man.
The ideal man, but he existed. And also,
darling.
Oh, darling. But the other thing about that is that because of this relationship with Doctor and Companion, it's a weird thing to say, but you kind of feel that both the Doctor and Donna are kind of looking for that person. And so let's go on to the Doctor's person. We meet River Song. Now, it's absolutely impossible to talk about this episode as we would have talked about this episode even 2 years after it had been on, because at the time we didn't know what was going to happen with River Song. And River, from the outset, and again, this is impossible to do retrospectively, so I'm going to apologise now. I can't pretend, especially given, and the bit that got me this time, we've seen this within the last year or two, all together as a family. And the bit that got me this time is when she starts talking about something that she knows has happened, but we now know, again, we knew it then, 2 years ago, but the bit with Capaldi in what's going to be her last appearance, though, so far, in the series. And there was just something about that moment, knowing that that's on the horizon, not too far away, I mean, you know, some distance, but what a performance and what a concept. Again, the depth of imagination of Moffat. And my goodness, Alex Kingston just comes in and has to, in the same way that only a couple of stories ago we had to have Georgina Moffat coming in and playing a part that was inconceivable years beforehand. You have to have somebody coming in with enough charisma and chops to immediately set themselves up as being something in relation to the Doctor. Something very, very, very significant. Not many actresses could do that, especially not with Tennant in his absolute pomp right now. This is prime David Tennant as the Doctor. Looking swish and brilliant and all that. And she manages to put him on the back foot in terms of, you know, the story, in terms of the... Oh, it's just unbelievable. So there's that to talk about, and we will be reflecting on that again in the future. And it's really hard to talk about it now with any semblance of not knowing. But that's the nature of Doctor Who these days. So there we go. What a performance. What an introduction of a character. I also want to talk about the way that this episode plays with the concept of television. And I think for an episode that's so booky, I mean, it really is, and we'll reflect on that at the end. This plays with the idea of television. Now, first and foremost, this is a superb two-parter. I think this is probably, as a two-parter, the best two-parter. And the reason I say that is because it uses the two-part format to give itself the time and space to do things like the prolonged period where Miss Evangelista is fading with the thing on the... But now, you can't do that in a one-parter. You don't have the time and the space. We get that lovely period at the start where it's basically a two-hander with the Doctor and Donna, which is just class because we don't have time to do that, especially not in the last season in Shooties. I'm giving myself credence to talk about Future Who. You know, one of the major criticisms I think we'll have about that when we talk about it is that it's just too fast all the time. There's just no space to breathe. This has a lovely room in it, and that not only facilitates character work, not only facilitates those sorts of moments where, you know, one by one the crew are getting picked off, but it ups the suspense. Absolutely brilliant. You know, in a story that is so rammed with stuff, to have that room to breathe is a testament to fine writing, I think, and it does lend itself to some absolutely powerful moments. But this idea, the concept of television, like the way that Cal is watching stuff unfold on the television and the television becomes a part of the dialogue, and it's, you know, the Doctor's talking through that, and then you get the beautiful sequence where Donna... does what I ranted about how brilliant I thought WandaVision was whenever. I probably talked about it on a video at some point. But... It plays with the conventions of television. So you get the cut from scene to scene, and all of a sudden Catherine Tate goes, weren't we just over there? And you as a viewer, that is a highly unusual thing to a situation to be put in, because you're like, well, yeah, we were just over there, but that's how TV works. But no, because Donna's saying, no, we were over there and now we're here, and you said that and then this happened. My gosh, what an unsettling thing. It also does the thing that Moffat's going to do again and again and again, where he takes the start of the second part. It gets disguised here because we do resolve the whole Doctor and River being chased by the spacesuit. But where is Donna? And you have to wait and wait and wait to unpick it all.
She is saved.
Unbelievable. So, I mean, weirdly... Oh, and the final thing I wanted to say about it is, of course, it's set in a library. I have spent more of my life in libraries than the vast majority of the population. will ever spend time
You always
in
live in a
libraries.
library.
I do. I make a joke at school about having a sleeping bag under the desk and things like that. But to have libraries celebrated, it ties back to the flipping one I did the video the other day when I was talking about the Target books and how this TV medium and books click together so well. Well, that's absolutely writ large all over this. Absolutely magnificent. And to have a library as being a highly appropriate place for a Doctor Who episode to take place. There we go. So anyway, weirdly, whenever I talk about my favourite ever Doctor Who stories, I don't talk about this one. And I don't, you watch it like that and you think, well, why on earth wouldn't that happen? And then the next time trailer drops, oh my God. Oh, I'm so excited about watching the next one. I love the next one so much.